I don't think Europe's a hellhole.
Okay, we can agree on something.
When did I ever say that?
Well, the picture you paint of
No,
Europe on X is
you're making up things.
No, I'm not.
You're just literally making it up.
Saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. I think a lot more people actually like me than don't. And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, it's like a favorable view of journalists is like 15%. They hate you far more than they hate me. Do you even know that? You probably don't.
I finally made it back to my humble abode, and it is about time because Elon Musk got into it with this whack liberal reporter, and of course, he cooked her, guys. It was ugly. I've already seen some of the clips, and man, he let her have it as he should have. Let's go ahead and react to this. By the way, guys, there's a new feature on YouTube where you can hype videos. So be sure to like the video, hype the video. It helps out a lot. Appreciate you.
I think it is a fair criticism that the way you shut down a whole bunch of programs probably, in fact, certainly caused unnecessary suffering. I mean,
no.
No? You don't buy that at all?
It caused a lot of complaining.
So you don't buy the idea that anybody, to put it really crudely and simply, any kid in Africa died because of the suddenness with which...
Zero.
I just don't think that's right. I just don't think...
Of course.
I've had people reporting
of course,
in Africa...
Shocking, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, you wouldn't think it was correct because you're against anyone who is to the right of radical, kooky Bernie Sanders. Let's keep going.
How many NGOs are there that could step in? Because bear in mind, it happened quickly. And there are literally tens of thousands of NGOs.
Yeah, not everyone functions as fast as you do. If funding is cut off for antiretrovirals overnight, and it just stops, then people will die when they don't have access to them. And it just
only if they cannot get funding for that. But the Gates Foundation has $50 billion. What about them? What about any one of a number of organizations? What about
well, in
Mackenzie
lots of these countries, USAID...
Mackenzie, whatever her last name is, used to be Bezos, gave $50 billion. What about that?
But Elon, let's be practical. In many of these countries, USAID was the biggest funder. But I don't want to have an argument.
USAID was a political organization.
It may also have been that, but it was the biggest funder of healthcare systems. So I'm very
biggest
sure that there was
of regime change.
And there may well be benefits from having changed
Also,
the system.
USAID funding was not stopped. It was moved to the State Department.
It was stopped. There were huge numbers of things shut down in Africa that were
there were claims
related.
of this. These claims are false. They're nonsense, and absolute nonsense. But
I like how this reporter is making all of these assumptions, and just based off their response, it's clear that they're just assuming everything. They're just listening to basically what radical left Democrats are saying. This person didn't even appear to have come with any facts like, hey, let's go down the list of the programs that were shut down by USAID and how no one else came in and provided any additional funding. So therefore, that means that the funding did not exist from anywhere, and therefore people died. This person literally doesn't have any of that. There's no evidence of anything. They're just over here talking classic leftist talking points.
Obviously, just for when funding is stopped for fraudulent organizations or for something, do you think they're going to say, well, please keep funding the fraud? Or do you think they're going to come up with a sad story that sounds sympathetic in order to get the funding restored? Obviously, it will be the latter, and that's exactly what they did. But zero died because of
that's
DOGE.
That's what I would take issue with. Because I think I actually have a lot of sympathy. You paint a picture. Well, first of all, you support not just the populist right, but the far right. In fact, very fringe parties in some countries.
No, I support the normal people.
Okay.
What do you call the far right? Falsely.
You think is the normal person? Okay.
Yes. Literally, you could go back 10 or 15 years, and these policies were completely normal. In fact, one of the tricks that I think is funny. One of the things that's quite funny is to take a speech from Obama and Hillary, and then go to someone and say, who's sort of on the sort of what I call the lunatic left, and say, what do you think of the speech by Trump? And like, oh, wow, he's the worst person ever. Actually, that was a speech by Obama. Or actually, that was a speech by Hillary.
I
Literally.
agree. No, I agree that the center of gravity in this country has shifted, certainly in the Democratic Party, shifted to the left. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people like Rupert
Not
Lowe. I'm
fringe
talking
right,
about
please.
people
It's actually just normal people. It's just
the-
normal people. It's just normal people. And and here are the principles. And tell me which of these sound terrible. That we should have secure borders. That we should have safe cities. That we should have sensible spending. Which of those three are far right
Those
fringe?
three. No,
And I would like to just admonish you and the media for the absurd characterization of the far right. It is false and misleading and nonsense. Please keep this part in.
We'll keep all of this in. But let me.
Don't cut this part.
Why do you focus on this? Why are you interested in it? Because on the one hand, we started this conversation and you described to me this extraordinarily transformative, amazing, civilizational changing stuff that's happening in the next 10 years.
Yes.
And yet you're also, an ongoing participant in the worst kind of tribalism, cesspit of social media. Like, how does that fit? Are you, on the one, they're two very different views of the world.
Yeah, I don't think they're inconsistent.
But why do you do the latter one, the tribalism? I mean, people say that you're a racist. People say that you're, there's all kinds of things said about you, which I'm sure you would disagree with. But I just don't understand.
I like how this person's interjected a lot of their opinion into this, and then as it relates to this, well, I'm sure people say you're racist. I'm sure you would disagree with it, but the person didn't say I disagree with it. So basically, she is calling him a racist too, but it's too chicken shit to admit it.
And what is the motivation for doing that? Are you
my
fomenting?
My partner is she's half Indian, and and I have 4 children with her. One of them was named after a famous Indian physicist. So I would say I'm not racist. And also, if you look at the people that are employed at my companies, we have senior executives of all races. I don't think there's any racism there.
Your blanket support of this kind of party with 240 million followers means that you have a power in Europe that I think perhaps you don't realize the scale of impact you have, but you can.
Well, good. I hope I am having a big impact.
But why? Why should you? Why should you be able to shape European politics? You don't even live there.
I think of it as the sort of the West collectively.
But do you see why this makes people think that this man who has all this power, he's the world's richest man, he thinks he has
you don't think that people from Europe, much less other countries, would love to have more impact on the United States? I mean, they literally introduce policies to try to push and pressure the United States into being more woke. Like, let's keep going.
Right, to influence our politics. It makes people, it's why, we started this conversation saying superlatives. It's why people loathe you. I mean, some people do loathe you.
Yes, some people do.
But do you understand why? Do you think what you're doing is helpful for Western democracy?
Maybe some people do loathe me. And that's probably true. I don't care. But the fact that, as you pointed out, 250 million people follow me is that I think a lot more people actually like me than don't.
Facts.
And I think a lot more people hate you and the media more than you realize. Do you realize the media is despised? Do you realize that journalists, the view of journalists is like a favorable view of journalists is like 15%.
I do know that in the United States.
So the shoe is on the other foot. They hate you. They hate you far more than they hate me.
I think there is certainly a loss of trust in journalism. I think in part there have been mistakes by journalists and journalism. I totally acknowledge that. But I also think that the kind of...
I like how she just downplayed. Oh, there were some mistakes, there's some mistakes made. Like, nah, girl, they tried to downplay the hell out of Joe Biden and his cognitive decline. They ignored the border being open. They just kind of took Democrats on their word. Even on one hand, they got news crews for the same company filming the border being open. On another hand, you get these losers on TV, and they're like, the Democrats say the border is closed, and if it is open, it's Trump's fault. So we're just going to go with that. These people are fraudulent which is why Elon Musk is calling this crazy person out.
Polarized environment, particularly on social media, fostered by the kinds of things you are pushing on X, actually helps this, makes it worse.
I don't think so. I think you're the problem.
Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna let Musk continue here, but here's the thing. Of course, they're gonna blame Elon Musk because he purchased X and exposed the fact that a bunch of people are lying, including the former executives of X, the moderators, or former executives of Twitter, and the moderators at Twitter were policing content, only pushing liberal narratives, including falsehoods. Elon Musk exposed it and made it where pretty much if you were on the right or the left, you could push whatever you wanted, and it had the community notes, which basically reveal what the actual truth is.
The media.
By journalists and journalism, I totally acknowledge that. But I also think that the kind of polarized environment, particularly on social media, fostered by the kinds of things you are pushing on X, actually helps this, makes it worse.
I don't think so. I think you're the problem, the media. And speaking of loathing, you're loathed far more than I am. And you don't seem to even realize that.
I think very few people know who I am relative to you, so I don't think I play in the same game.
The media collectively. So, I mean, you're hated. Do you even know that? You probably don't.
I like to think that I'm aware of my own personal shortcomings and the Economist's shortcomings and our worldview's shortcomings.
Yeah.
But what we stand for, as you know, is liberal values, traditional, classical liberal values.
Well, you know something, I respect the Economist a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit, because she's admitting that. A lot of these woke programs, CNN, for example, they'll never admit that they have a liberal bias, or at least they rarely do. They say, well, maybe there's like a slight lean to the left. Like, man, shut the heck up.
You seem to paint a picture of Europe being a hellhole.
I don't think Europe's a hellhole.
Okay, we can agree on something.
When did I ever say that?
Well, the picture you paint of Europe on X is
you're making up things.
No, I'm not.
You're just literally making it up.
You say civil war in Britain is inevitable, and then you basically proselytize for this citizen vigilante film, which really does paint Europe as a hellhole. It just starts with ominous music, and it says Europe.
Well, there was out of control rape and murder.
Guys, this was brutal. Elon Musk over here That's what he might as well have did. That's what he was doing with his words. And this lady deserves it. Now I just need him to go on fake news CNN, MSDNC, ABC. I need him to do this some more because he's cooking with Crisco here, right? It's not to say that, Elon Musk never does anything wrong or there's never anything that goes wrong on the right, but he's talking about normal people, closed borders, and fake news. And this lady just seems totally oblivious, or she doesn't want to admit, we made a couple mistakes. Like, girl, shut your stupid mouth. Y'all done made so many mistakes and continue to make them. You tried to do it today. Making stuff up at the beginning of this video, trying to say all these poor kids in Africa, what are they gonna do without USAID money? Meanwhile, you got billions of other dollars being invested that's being funneled through somewhere in the U.S. so they can steal all the money and never make it to the dang gum kids anyway. That's the fake news for you, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk over here cooking this later with Crisco, but these are just my thoughts. So let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm out. Shout out to my members, patrons, and fellow anomalies, Cyber Noodle, 655, The Great, Bella Scott, Carpentier John, and Pinecone 6. I appreciate you guys every single day.
You're loathed far more than I am. I mean, you're hated. Do you even know that? You probably don't.